right, welcome to Mark Goes to the Movies. This is your Mother's Day episode. As a reminder, it's Mother's Day. For those of you that still have moms, don't take advantage of it. You have no idea when they're going to go away. But to tell you about my mother, Angela Darlene Riddle. Let's just say Brown. Angela Darlene Brown. She was 46 years old when she passed away. She was born March 6, 1970 in East St. Louis, Illinois. Passed away on Sunday, January 1st, 2017, at her residence. This is it's so weird walking by when we go on our walks with Max, the seeing the old house and all that stuff. I'm trying to make this a one not about Kenny, but he was the guy that was responsible for her dying. So that is in there. Angela worked for Worldwide Technology. She was a loving wife, mother, grandmother, and sister. She lived for her family. Angela was preceded in death by her parents, Marvin and Billie Jean Brown. Surviving are her devoted husbands. I don't know about devoted. Let's say son Mark Powell, Brian Riddle, Brandon Riddle, grandchildren Julie Payton. I don't know who the fuck Elizabeth is. That's so weird. I know it's Jason. And then there was a kid that they just forgot about that was Brian's that everyone just seems to just like disappeared. It's like kind of upset I got kicked out of that family because I want to be there when, like, I don't know, the kid turns like 20 years old and he's like, I'm gonna find my dad, and then it finds out it's Brian and the disappointment. Oh, that's usually how it works, I guess. So yeah, about my mom. Got along tremendously well towards the end of her life. Say the last 4 or 5 years. Great relationship. I think it was just that she worried so much about her kids and just whether or not they're gonna make it or not. And after seeing the traumatic adulthood they had growing up, we lived in a junkyard trailer, not a like a not by a junkyard. This was a trailer that was gonna get scrapped, and they said, "Hey, this is a nice place to raise a family." And they had hoses. We took showers out on the porch. Uh, the electricity had was it electrical wires? What is that? Extension cords. Sorry, fuck. Extension cords hooked up to it. I mean, she married a drunk. Um, and that's my only issue growing up with my mom was that she didn't hold this man accountable for the shit he did. He wrecked many of our cars, and it made it very difficult for her. So I don't blame my mom at all for being so worried about us. But I mean, now I do pretty good. That's the disappointing thing now is that you accomplish everything. I work on the same place that she worked at, same department. Only she went to captain, which is a role that's not there anymore. But they kind of like run the lines. The sorry, not the lines, but the lanes. I guess they're the captain of the pack teams. And where I've risen to supervisor already, and I've worked there for about as long as she has worked there. The one of the nicest things I mentioned this to my boss the other day. One of the nicest things they ever did was they paid my mom's life insurance. I don't know if they were supposed to do that or not, because technically she wasn't. She was employed through Aerotech because they fired her because my mom did not believe in. She thought FMLA was free money, so she never signed up for FMLA. But she had lupus. She was sick all the time. She the like when it was cold because it's not climate controlled. When it was cold, her lip would turn blue and her body would turn like blue. Like it was that is like her body was not able to keep her warm. And lupus doesn't affect you. I'm saying how she could got FMLA, no problem. But doing the right thing, and I don't hold the person responsible for letting her go. Like they did what their job was supposed to do. She just needed to get life, or not life. She needed to get FMLA, and never did. But they did bring her back as a contractor when she was up and ready. Also, stress doesn't help, and Kenny had just quit his job to go to Amazon, and then he quit Amazon because he's a fucking idiot. But yeah, it's we didn't have any like there was no life insurance money for other life insurance policies beforehand. It was worldwide technology saving us and making sure she had a funeral and was able to get buried. So amazing company to work for, and that's why I still will always, as long as they'll have me, I'll work for that company. But some good memories about my mom. There's the one I remember is going to see The Hills Have Eyes, just me and her. And this is we didn't hardly ever go to the movies, but I remember just it was a summer weekend, probably summer as a Sunday. But like one of the kind of the funny thing is so like every year they'd be like, "Hey, do you want to go to Six Flags? We're gonna go this year, we promise." And then you guys just need to behave all summer, and we'll go. And literally, it would come down to like before school starts, and we'd be like, "Hey, we're going to Six Flags, right?" And they're like, "You want Six Flags or do you want clothes? You want school supplies?" And it's like, man, this is really frustrating, guys. But no, so I was being a brat pretty much. Just looking back on it now, how I would handle it. And I remember we were in the car, and I was like, we don't ever do anything. Like we're just gonna go to the store and go home. Like that's it. And like out of nowhere, they're like, hey, Kenny and Brian and Brianna. She had three kids, by the way. Me, my brother, and Brianna. My brother Brian, my sister Brianna. Though I don't know what those guys are up to anymore. I haven't seen those guys since about 7, 8 years. So maybe about a year after she died. But no, that was out of nowhere. We saw the Hills of Eyes, the remake, anyways, and that was like something I'll never forget. That was the most amazing day, and like that's it. And it kind of just inspired me because like my kids, I've taken them to see their favorite bands, literally. Peyton's seen Green Day. We'll have that memory. Me and Julie have gone to quite a bit of concerts. She saw Red Hot Chili Peppers. She saw Hootie and the Blowfish. She's seen Fall Out Boy. She's seen Alkaline Trio, Blink 182. It's like we have so many great memories because there's like that one's really stuck out for me with my mom. We would go, and this is my grandma too. My grandma's death was just as bad as my mom's death. Only I just completely ignored that one by choice. And it wasn't because I didn't love my grandma. My grandma was my favorite person. Just because they fought all the time. And then when my mom died, I hadn't dealt with my grandma's death at all. So my mom died not shortly after my grandma. So it was like dealing with two two people that basically your entire family is gone. Any kind of adult because there's no one to lean on. And still, it's like that's the worst part. Like I said, you can get all these promotions, you can have your nice house, you can have your nice items, your nice nice life, but like the people that you want to show it off to, your mom and your grandma, no longer here anymore. It's like, damn, what would she think about being supervisor of that department and working my way up? Because she loved that place. She would work sick. What did my mom think about me going to Las Vegas? Like that's the one person I wanted to tell more than anything, and no longer here anymore. We would I remember like especially the last 4 or 5 years we were really close. Kenny would go get drunk on Friday nights and at the Legion, so she'd be at home by herself. And I didn't have cable during the summertime because I thought I would save some money because there's nothing new going on uh, in the summer. And so yeah, I'd go to her house and watch TV. She'd watch in the kitchen, just watching her tiny TV and the like 19-inch wall mounted TV. And yeah, it'd be like the news. I watched Girl Meets World because I didn't have Disney Channel, so I'd go over there and watch it. Just and then yeah, she'd go in there and we get Chinese food or fish from the Legion, and just hang out with my mom every Friday night. And it was that way up until she died. The Also, how lucky was I to get the Christmas before she died? She died on New Year's Eve, midnight, so technically New Year's Day. It was somewhere over the night. I even actually remember what time it was. I remember just being woke up saying, "Mark, your mom died," and I'm like just being like, "God damn it!" I know the week before would have been Christmas, and there's nothing really planned. The last Christmas gift I ever got from her was a GameStop gift card for like $40, in which I bought the Guns N' Roses pops, and that was the last gift I ever got. I think it was $50 maybe. Because towards the end, when we became adults, she just gave us $50 every Christmas. But yeah, it was the last Christmas gift I ever got. And then like we didn't see my cousins because we pretty close to my cousins. And then all of a sudden, it was like Josh invited everyone over for, I want to say it was right after Christmas. So maybe the 26th. Yeah, it would have been the day after Christmas, the 26th. He had a nice huge house that he was definitely overpaying for in Columbia, Illinois. Invites us all over there, with all the cousins, the whole family pretty much. And man, we played we call a white elephant, where you get a bunch of gag gifts, and then you draw names. You take turns, so you can steal gifts and that stuff. You guys know how it goes. But man, we had a whole nice meal, playing games, exchanging gifts, and like I wasn't feeling well. I think I had a ear infection, and but it was still such a great time. And the last thing I said to her was, "I'll see you next week, and I love you." And then just left. And that was the last time I saw her alive. That was I mean, man, Brian, this guy, he wanted to make a big scene over at his house. Like, I'm not gonna tear him down. He's probably having a rough time, even though he did take an electric bill out of my name with my ex-wife. But he pissed her off before she died. Like, that's gotta be rough. Like, I hope maybe he doesn't blame himself. I don't know how it works, but yeah, that was I was happy to have that, and just the whole they had told the Guns N' Roses story a couple times. That Patience really gets me. She was very supportive of Guns N' Roses for me. Remember, she bought my first cassette tape was Guns N' Roses, the Spaghetti Incident. First one that wasn't burnt, anyways, or copied. My biological dad used to always make copies of Guns N' Roses Appetite for Destruction. Specifically, not that one, and then Knocking on Heaven's Doors. He'd always copy that, and I'd have that single around. But she always, again, it was probably very difficult. I don't know where our money went as a kid, but we were very poor, and just raising three kids and an alcoholic, probably pretty tough. But yeah, she got my Guns N' Roses cassette tape, the Spaghetti Incident. Unfortunately, it was the Spaghetti Incident cassette tape. What was another one? Yeah, she's bought me, like, I would just ask for stuff every now and then. Now I wouldn't always get it, but if I was like, "Hey, I hadn't got anything in a year or two," and birthdays were never great. Usually, I know one was like I told a story on the birthday episode that is no longer on Spotify, I guess, thanks to Michael Jackson. She bought bought me some Walgreens VHS tapes and some Clarence Easter candy because it was the day after Easter, and then Hard Rock Zombies on DVD. But there was things like I liked Kanye West before he was famous, the fucking lunatic rapper guy, and and yeah, she bought me that album. I remember getting the Guns N' Roses Greatest Hits, and because I had sympathy for the devil, that was the one I hadn't heard too often. But she was like, "I'm gonna get this for you, but you got to share it with me." And of course, it was just my CD, but that was her reasoning, I guess, to make sure it was like, "Hey, I'm gonna get you this, but there's some caveats behind it." Let's see. I don't know if I have any more mom stories. It was weird. She had Brianna was her favorite. Brian was my stepdad's favorite. I was kind of in the middle. I was the leftover kid. But she always, always treated me pretty well. And then towards the end, when she saw the other kids were fuck ups, it was like I better put my money on Mark because the other kids kind of suck. Great aunt and great aunt to my cousins. I know they have a ton of nice things to say about her. Uh, not a bad cook. The food was pretty decent. It's weird the things she taught me how to make, which was like Chinese food. She worked at a Chinese restaurant when she was 16. God, it was Hunan Express is what the menu says on my box of memories. It was in Cahokia, Illinois, and so it was like they'd have the menu and buffet and stuff, and they'd be like, "Hey, it would be in Chinese," and they'd be like, "What's this?" And then she would tell them what it is, because on the other side was English, so she could read it. But the people didn't know that were asking about the food. They were like, "How do you know what this food is? Like, do you know Do you know Chinese?" And that was kind of funny. And then yeah, she as an adult, that was like one of the things she made for me a lot. I had we had made pork and rice a lot. It was pork steak, and then rice, and then soy sauce, and then onions. I hate onions because they were never cooked all the way. They were always usually kind of raw. So you bit into an onion, you tasted it, and it tasted awful. So one of the things she was like, and of course they couldn't get plain rice because Kenny's a fucking asshole, and he wants to make a child's life more difficult. But she I don't know, make the fried rice. It's green onions. You won't taste it. And sure enough, you don't taste green onions in that. And that's how she taught me how to make fried rice, and that's still something I do to this day. Same thing with enchiladas. She made chicken enchiladas. We're kind of famous for that, and still make chicken enchiladas the same way. But yeah, just tremendous person overall, and don't know if there's any other thing to say. I mean, when she died, let's say your impact about when you go, about how people handle it. Uh, Everyone went fucking nuts apparently when my mom died. So not great. So that shows how important she was to everyone really. But that's my Mother's Day episode. Hope man, it'd be so nice to have like if I could pick one guest, either my mom or my grandma. Those are the two people. Or my grandpa Marvin. I never got to know my grandpa Marvin too well. She spoke very highly of him though. Said same sense of humor I have, so that would have been pretty cool to have grown up with him. Just really sad, I have like no one was like a safety net for me anymore. No parents, no grandparents. It's like nothing. So that's the real bummer of all this. And every Mother's Day, comes and goes, and uh, just say don't take it for granted. Go see your mom. Every all the women I've dated, apparently don't have great relationships with their mother, or like they kind of talk, talk down to their mom. And I'm like, don't talk that way about your mom. Some of us don't have moms. Like, what the fuck, dude. But hopefully, hopefully she's out there doing well. I know she believed in karma so well, like to the point where it's like you can't get revenge ever. But she sit there and be like, karma's gonna get him. Don't worry about it. So I hope karma's getting Kenny. Hope he lives forever. I hope he enjoys his fat ass wife and his son Gilbert Grape. Uh, this is Mark Goes to the Movies. Go say hi to your mom.